For me, this is so exciting on a personal level because my wife and I have a son with special needs. He's 27. He works Monday through Friday, but he's completely dependent upon us for his transportation. Either myself or almost always my wife, because I'm here, or our daughter if for some reason she's out of town. So the possibilities are so good here for people in the disability community, particularly those like my son with an intellectual disability that is great, a very social individual, but limited in many ways to what he can do. So what this opens up for, whether it's running errands, whether it's going to the grocery store, the bookstore that he loves, or getting to and from work. So as you look at that, can you elaborate on the work that GM is doing to provide this type of transportation or this access in the future? I know you have discussed it.
We have, and I agree with you. It's a very exciting opportunity for some of these communities. And while we recognize the potential benefits, there's a whole lot more work, obviously, that still needs to be done. However, inside General Motors, we have a specifically designated employee resource group composed of people with various physical challenges, and they're already working with our engineering group on the potential for self-driving vehicles going forward. So we look forward to continue to engage, obviously, internally with our own employees, but also with external groups on how to realize this potential for those communities.
Great, thank you, and thank you for that work. Dr. Pratt, can you also comment how your company is considering the needs of the disability community in the development and deployment of self-driving cars?
Yes, I'd be very glad to. In fact, our president, Akio Toyoda, decided to change the company's policy on autonomous driving as a result of a meeting with a blind person who asked him, can I enjoy the mobility of your cars as well? And suddenly the whole company decided to change its policy. I wanted to add one more part to this thing too, because we have to not forget about aging society. Right now in the United States, 13% of our population is over age 65. Because of the baby boom in 15 years, that fraction will grow from 13% to 20%. And this is an extraordinary thing. My sister and I had the experience of having to take away the car keys from my father because he was now too elderly to drive. That's something I don't think anybody should have to go through, both, of course, for my father and also for the parents' children. Our goal is to make that not have to happen in the future.
That's great. Thank you very much. Mr. Carberg, can you answer that question about what Volvo is doing for those with disabilities?
We fully recognize the potential for self-driving cars to bring a happier life to disabled people and blind people and so on. Every Sunday I meet my father. He just turned 100 years, and he asks me every time, when can I have this car? But for Volvo, initially, we are targeting commuting, because that's where we think the biggest benefit for and interest from the consumers are.
That's great. Mr. Opaku, tell us about how this works from a ride-sharing perspective.
Sure, and thank you for the question, Vice Chairman. One of the things that we've been really pleased to see with Lyft and with ride-sharing generally is the ability to provide options for the disabled community and for the elderly community. One of the initial challenges was, especially with the elderly community, was that not everyone had a smartphone or felt comfortable using a smartphone, but we've recently adapted that process so that you don't even have to have a smartphone to request a Lyft. So we've already seen and heard from a lot of the disabled community about how much ride-sharing has increased their quality of life, increased their mobility, same thing for the senior population. And in terms of the potential to have that same impact with autonomous vehicles, again, the role that ride-sharing plays is the ability to bring AVs to the market at a scale that would really address this issue in a broad and sweeping way. So Lyft and ride-sharing, we believe, do play a very specific role and a very important role in ensuring that AV technology can be deployed and used by those who most critically need it.
Thank you each so much. It's an exciting moment, and we look forward to the development. I yield back.
The